Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, whichever time zone you're in. I hope you're doing fantastic. Honestly, I really like this new intro. I don't know if I should use it from now on. Maybe? Yes or no? Who knows? I'm gonna try my best to not extend this intro, but let's just say, okay, I'm gonna be taking 10 art styles, excluding one of them, because one of them is gonna be my personal art style, and I randomly picked 9 art styles that I find really interesting. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing my original character in these separate art styles. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys again, but before we start, I made a new Instagram account. This is where I'm going to be posting most of my art, so if people want to check out, my usual stuff and what I'm doing in my free time, check it out. Feel free to follow me if you want. I have my first post up in there, a drawing of my precious persona, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description. As you can see, here's my handle, so you could go follow me. Anyways, thank you, bye. Well, let us begin, actually. I started with Eddsworld's art style, mainly the ones that are featured in the newest episodes, kind of. What's interesting about Eddsworld is that each episode would normally have a different art style from one another, and I found that extremely cool. Maybe to some people it was inconsistent, but for me it felt kind of natural. But I'm mainly taking the art style from Eddsworld's 2 most popular episodes. I can't really remember the names of those episodes, so I'm just gonna put them on screen right now. I think it was the finale, and the one previous to that one, I can't really remember. I think it's the finale too. I think it's the finale part 1 and the finale part 2. Post-editing peppers will know eventually. Either way, I'm going to be 100% honest. I feel like Eddsworld is still absolutely goated. It doesn't really feel the same as its older days where the fandom was at its prime, and the amount of fan arts, okay, I'm not going to take into consideration the ship art. I don't care about ships, I think they're fine, I don't care. But ignoring the problematic stuff and some things that certain fans would do, the show was really goated. Even if, I don't consider it the pinnacle of the greatest indie animation of all time, I think it's up there. If you're willing to watch an indie animated show that's that you could watch in under a day, just watch Eddsworld. It's literally just humor, funny, it's silly, until the finale episodes. They're not really finale episodes because Eddsworld keeps releasing newer episodes nowadays. I haven't really caught up to them. I should, because they're short. They're 4 to 8 minutes long. It's just me having the worst attention span possible. Yeah, I don't have much to say on this segment. Let's just say I made my beautiful girly into an Eddsworld character. Now she's a canon character in the universe, guys. I swear. She doesn't belong to my story anymore, unfortunately. Okay, next art style that came to mind is obviously Cookie Run Kingdom. This game was an excuse to mention in this video because, well, I've been really obsessed with Cookie Run Kingdom recently. It's an awesome game, God. Cookie Run Kingdom, please sponsor me. So I think the art style is absolutely adorable, especially when they fully render their pieces, when they put it at the loading screen of each update. I feel like each drawing of Cookie Run Kingdom is an absolute masterpiece. So in this drawing, I did incorporate a little bit of shading. At first, I wanted to make this drawing like the simple PNGs that you see of the characters when you obtain them, or when you don't have them, really, it depends. But I got a little bit too inspired and ended up giving the drawing more of a rendered look. Don't blame me, I just really love Cookie Run Kingdom's art style. It's just, oh my god. I could glaze this game until the end of time. And as somebody that's kind of a hater of gacha games, let's be real, most of them are just, I don't know, they're not for me. They once were for me, but, I just kind of lost interest in them. But then came Cookie Run Kingdom, my absolute lord, and say, oh my god, forget the background noise. Okay, so a plane was passing by my house. That's kind of insane. But as I was mentioning before, yeah, I love this game. Give it a go. It's awesome. The characters are absolutely adorable. Oh my god, and the lore is insane. I'm not gonna spoil anything for my dear viewers that want to try this game out. But if you just want to play a casual gacha game with cute characters, I recommend this game 100%. But yeah, here's the finished result for this art style. Okay, so now obviously we have Adventure Time. I don't know if this is kind of close to the source material. I'd say the only thing that's like relatively similar is the face and the hands. But the clothing, I'm not sure if I made it a little bit too complicated. It's just that I looked at Adventure Time references, but I didn't really find a character that had this type of clothing, so I'm like, oh damn. What am I supposed to do? I'm just gonna do it from imagination, so I did. I tried simplifying the elements a little bit, although they're still a little bit complicated to do. But yeah, I added a noise effect because it's giving the impression that you're watching the show, I guess. I really don't know. I just really added it so it doesn't look kind of empty. Now we have My Little Pony. I don't know if this counts as like an art style change, but more like a species change to my main character. I don't care. Even if it has the art style of My Little Pony, I wanted an excuse to draw a pony. Because I love ponies, let's be real. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, hell yeah. I used to be obsessed with this show when I was a little child. I had too many toys of My Little Pony, and let's just say I unfortunately consumed its dark content, the dark content that was present on the internet. This is what unrestricted internet access does to a child, people, you know, and it can bring a lot of consequences, but yeah, you know, when I made this drawing, I got remembered. I got transported to the good old times where I would make really bad My Little Pony fan art. If I find some, I'm gonna put them on the screen right here. And doing this drawing after, you know, improving a little bit and eventually getting a grasp of, you know, how anatomy is supposed to be made, I don't know, this felt really nice to do. It was really satisfying, and I'm really proud of how it ended up looking. Commentary. Just enjoy the speed paint. I know a lot of people, watch my videos, well, have watched my previous video, and they used it as background noise for drawing, and, you know, that's good, that's cool. I love my fellow artists, but, enjoy the visuals a little bit. This is what you're here for, right? Right? Yeah, I hope you like the final result. Thank you. Moving on, the next segment, we have Gorillaz, specifically the newer one, the newer art style that the band uses. I wanted to go with the older one that they used in their, well, older music videos, but for some reason I didn't. And I just assumed that, oh, the newer one is going to be a lot easier for me because it looks really similar to how I do line art. So I went with that, and that was probably the biggest mistake that I ever did because this took me so freaking long to do. The final result looks good. Objectively, it looks good. But it looks more like a replica. I don't know how to explain it, but it seems like I added a lot more elements that I add to my personal art rather than replicating every single detail of the art style that I referenced from, if that makes any sense. I know I don't make sense sometimes, I'm sorry. But yeah, like this was my least favorite one, but you can kind of see the resemblance, right? That was the only objective that I had, that people would recognize that this is directly inspired by their newer art style, to be more precise. But yeah, here it is. Next we have one of the best cartoons made in human history, OKKO, like for real. I used to be so obsessed with this cartoon as a kid. The art style was so captivating to me. It was simple, but some of the character designs were absolutely phenomenal. I went with it. It was really the easiest one for me because I would make a lot of fan arts of the characters when I was younger. So, you know, making this exact replica of the original art style was an easy task. It was relatively easy. I obviously tried to make the anatomy as similar as possible to how the female characters are made. Even a lot of the proportions for them are really exaggerated now that I'm looking at them, but it's acceptable for them to do that, you know. Really easy. I didn't really had to add a lot of shadows. Just normal colors, just a flat color drawing with my beautiful character that I love and deeply care for. Now I present you guys with Steven Universe, a show that I hold really, really close to my heart. It saddens me that I couldn't really do it justice compared to the other ones, but I don't know why. I used the main reference of Rainbow Quartz because her design looks kind of similar to my OC, and at the end her facial structure looked more like lapis lazuli's. But whatever, at least I tried my best. Growing up, I never noticed the inconsistencies that the animation would have in its episodes. But sometimes when different animators would join in, the animation would look so freaking amazing. Like, at this point, it was at another level sometimes. Especially the episodes where they would include fusions or new characters. I would geek the hell out, dude. It was insane. Yet again, returning to the topic, this one didn't take me a lot. It took me like 30 minutes to do, considering that Steven Universe's art style is relatively simple. Also, at the end, I topped it off with an overlay layer so it could look a little better. But overall, I'm kind of proud with it, and I hope you like it too. Sanrio. What am I supposed to say about Sanrio? It's cute. I collect some of the toys, some of the franchise. I can't say much about the characters. I guess my favorite one is Cinnamon Roll, even though he's really overrated, but yada yada yada. I collect a lot of merch of these guys because I love wasting money. What am I supposed to tell you? Yeah. But thank God that Agretzko exists. The anime that's present on Netflix that you should definitely watch. It's really freaking good. A lot of the characters most of the characters, it is inspired by the modern world of Japan and jobs. Most of the characters wear clothing to that of humans. So, thank you for the references. The original Sanrio characters didn't really help me a lot in that, but whatever. Literally, like, Retsuko belongs to the Sanrio franchise. What am I supposed to say? Now let me ask you something. What isn't an art style challenge when you don't include Hirohiko Araki's art style? I've been studying this guy's art for a while, and I mean a while, ever since I discovered JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. My art wasn't the same. I'd safely say his manga and franchise left a massive impact on me. Mostly because a lot of my friends loved watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I never really gave it a chance. I thought I was never gonna like it because I was always using the excuse that the anime looked really silly, and the art style just looks flat out ugly. And to that I say, I call bullshit. That is not true. The art style is actually a work of art. On the other hand, when we're talking about the story and the lore about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I could literally sit down and talk to you for hours about how amazing this anime is. If you've ever watched the show or series, please comment down below what your favorite part is, because personally for me, I think my favorite part would be between part 4 and 5. I think it's because I was very invested in the characters in those parts, and somehow when it comes to part 4, it was more entertaining compared to the other parts. I felt like it included much more humor. Even if it got more serious, like at the second part of the anime. Oh my god, and the soundtrack for part 4. Listen, all of the soundtracks for each part is amazing in their own way. I'm not gonna deny that. But dude, the soundtracks for part 4, the openings, I'm geeking out. I'm so sorry. And obviously the same goes for part 5. As a person of culture, I added the first opening, Fighting Gold, which is actually my favorite opening in the entire JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise because it's fucking amazing, bro. I just realized from what I just said, it does not have any correlation with the speed paint. I mean, you can form an opinion by yourself if you like it or not. Last but not least, we have Pepper's art style. I'm totally not talking in third person, you're just crazy. She doesn't really render a lot because she seems to be a lazy artist, which I kind of relate to. I'm a lazy artist as well. But what I like about her art style is that, she keeps it simple and likes to give her drawings warmer tones so that the drawings could feel a little bit more cozy. I could definitely see that. Either way, I'm proud of her. Her art style is really nice, and I could say that, wait, why does my art style look really similar to hers? Oh god, am I going to be accused of plagiarism again? Another interesting point that I'd like to add is that she likes to defy the laws of physics in her art, as you can see with the hair. So it gives it the impression that the bow is piercing straight through her hair. I think I'm 100% aware of it. To conclude this awesome video, it appears that this artist is really happy that she managed to draw her favorite character in so many different art styles, and experimenting with different techniques that she has never tried before. Okay, this sounds absolutely ridiculous, I'm sorry, but the point is, I'm really happy that I managed to do all of this in such a short amount of time. Knowing me, I'm an artist that likes to procrastinate a lot and leave a lot of projects to the last minute, but this time, I decided to just get over it. Like the last video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of conclusions to the video and some things that I'm planning to do on my future uploads, because I already have ideas thanks to my amazing viewers that managed to comment their opinions and a few recommendations so I can make my videos a little bit better. And I'm really grateful for that, honestly. I am really happy that I managed to build a community that's slowly growing by time, but I'm still absolutely grateful for that. If you skipped to this part of the video, I could already see straight through you. You just wanted to see the final results, didn't you? Okay, but like, I do that too. Don't worry, dude. You're good. Okay, so talking more about the drawings that I did along the way. Yeah, they did take me a while to do. I know I mentioned before that this barely took me about 2 weeks. It took me exactly 2 weeks to make all of these drawings because I was really busy doing other stuff, but to be honest, I am actually really happy with most of these results. Even if I attempted this challenge after so long of it being trendy. I think this was like trendy 6 years ago. So I'm probably going to put in the title, I tried the 10 art styles challenge after a decade or some crap like that. I don't know. So people could see the video and be like, oh my god, wait, this artist is different from everyone else. I don't know. I'm so happy that I finished this video. Leaks of the upcoming video or ideas that I personally have, I'm probably going to make an art fight inspired video and maybe just prepping my stuff, because even if art fight starts like 2 months into 2 months or 1 month, I don't know. We're in the 20th of May, so it's going to start July 1st. I'm obviously going to be participating in art fight. Last year I couldn't because I was busy doing a lot of things, but this year I have a lot more liberty and time, so I'm going to just attack everybody from the opposing team. And I'm going to cook up some amazing things if you're interested in seeing that in the future. But more info on that later. I'm just giving a general idea. So yeah, I'm happy you liked this video, or if you didn't, leave a dislike, whatever. Leave a comment if you want to share some opinions about it. And yeah, I hope you're doing amazing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.